Welcome to CUTV News Radio, where our hosts Doug Llewellyn and Jim Masters talk to today's top thinkers from all around the world to bring you information, inspiration, and thought-provoking ideas that you can put to use in your personal or professional life right now. Covering a broad range of topics, we dig deep to discover what makes today's top thinkers tick. CUTV News Radio. It's the show where ideas matter. And now, here's today's host, Doug Llewellyn.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to CUTV News Radio. It's a delight to have you with us. As you know, this is the Tuesday after Monday holiday of Labor Day, and hopefully you had a wonderful holiday weekend. Today, this is going to be pretty fascinating, especially for me. I'm going to learn something, and I'm going to make sure you learn something with us as well. We're going to welcome back Mary McCarthy. She has been a guest here on CUTV News before. She was with us last week. And she is an expert on the art of journaling. Now, you may not know what journaling is, and we're going to explain that, and we're going to tell you what the benefits of it are, and we're going to help teach you how to do it. And to begin, let me tell you a little bit about Mary's story, and this will get you much more interested in this whole subject. First off, her name is Mary McCarthy. Her company is called Create Right Now, and she is the founder and the CIO of that corporation. Now, you know, in any typical corporation, the CIO would be the Chief Information Officer. But Mary, in her company, is the Chief Inspiration Officer. I love that. Chief Inspiration Officer of Create Right Now. As Mary tells her story, over 20 years ago, she lost the feeling and function in the right side of her body due to multiple sclerosis. And the doctors really didn't help her very much. So she began a journey to take control of her health. And she says and writes that after doing some research, she tried writing therapy, which she called journaling for the health of it. She said it wasn't easy for her. She had to learn to write with her left hand. Now, if you're a right-handed person and you write with your right hand, you know, because I'm one of them, you know it's darn hard to write with your left hand. That was her situation. But she did. She dedicated herself to daily action and began a journaling practice, writing with her left hand, and she began the practice known as morning pages. She says she never could have anticipated how powerful that process would become to her. As she continued her writing practice, her MS symptoms improved, but more importantly, she says she discovered and recovered her true self and even tapped into talents she said she never knew she had. And best of all, she has a kind and compassionate relationship with herself, and her inner serenity that has replaced her Academy Award-winning self-sabotage. She's a great writer, you know, Academy Award-winning self-sabotage. How many of us have that? Her transformation is nothing short of radical, and due to the power of therapeutic journaling, there have been a number of benefits. Number one, the right side of her body is 75% functional when it wasn't before. She takes no prescription drugs, and she hasn't for 15 years. She stopped every one of the over-counter medications she took 8 years ago. She dumped her health insurance, dropped it, and she hasn't needed it for over 15 years. And she has been, as she puts it, 100% healthy for 6 years with no sign of any illness. I applaud her. That's terrific. And that's great. It's quite a leap from her prognosis years ago, and it all happened because she made the decision to just go for it. To be honest, she says, she found the benefits of focused journaling to be limitless. It has guided and supported her in making major dietary decisions: no gluten, no dairy, no processed foods. She's able to write with both hands now, and thanks to her daily commitment to journaling, she routinely sleeps through the night for 7 or 8 hours without waking up. Her energy increases every day, and her journal and she are currently working on accompanying her 2018 goal, which is manifest the healthiest team, Mary. That is Mary's story to date, and that's only a part of it. Obviously, we have left out a lot. But Mary also wrote a book. She has an international award-winning bestseller called Journaling Power: How to Create the Happy, Healthy Life You Want to Live. And it's available, and we're going to tell you how to get it. We're going to tell you where Mary's website is, because it's a great website with a lot of information. And we're going to talk about the subject of journaling. For those of you who don't know anything about journaling, welcome aboard. You're going to have an expert instruct you as of right now. So let's say good morning to our guest, Mary McCarthy. She's headquartered in the Boston area, specifically in Marshfield, Massachusetts. It's about 40 miles from Boston, and it's going to be a hot day in that area today, isn't it, Mary? Would you say 95 degrees? Is that right?
Absolutely, yes. It is September 4th, and it is going to be 95 degrees, and I live in a beautiful beachfront home, and the air conditioning just kicked on.
And you're looking at the ocean. Is it calm out there this morning?
It's very calm. There's no breeze, nothing. The flags are are not moving, so yeah, it's just really hazy. A little bit hazy this morning. Hazy, hot, and humid. So what we've been experiencing for most of the summer is still continuing on after Labor Day. We have to have a conversation with Mother Nature.
I thought it was supposed to cool down right after Labor Day, but it's not. You're making me jealous sitting there looking out on the ocean. Well, look, I have a tough question for you, okay? Here's the beginning.
Sure.
What is journaling? How do you answer that? Simple answer. What is it?
Journaling is the newest, best, ultimate self-healing tool that helps people address and heal the issues in their tissues, otherwise known as baggage, that we've been carrying around that gets us stressed out, emotionally charged, and it's really a holistic health tool.
I got to tell you something.
Just like
that's an Academy Award-winning answer. Really. That's a really great answer. It helps cure the issues in your tissues. I love it. We have a lot of listeners who've never journaled. I'm one, too. I have never journaled. I have an appreciation for it, I guess. I really don't know a lot about it. But let's talk a little bit about how one goes about. Obviously, it's been very beneficial for you. And really, when you're journaling, you're writing, I presume, your thoughts, your inspirations, whatever's going through your mind. Is that what it is? Tell me
yes,
what it is you write when you journal.
When you journal, it's wherever you are at the moment, you just write. And getting back to how I got started, I highly recommend people that don't know anything about journaling but are curious about it, that morning pages are very good because they are a stream of consciousness. So you just sit down and write. Now, of course, our inner critic and our heavily experienced left brain are going to go crazy because, we have to, be running here, taking care of this, doing this all. So getting back into ourselves, spending quality time with ourselves, that is something that is completely against everything we've been brought up to believe and done. So sitting down with pen to page, and what we're journaling is pen to page every day, is really an opportunity for people to reconnect with the inner child, the person, their true self that they had when they came into this world, but through growing up and parenting and teachers and society and everything, we become, living out there. Journaling is an opportunity for us to come home to ourselves.
You have written that journals are unique to every individual. One page might be a doodle, or the writing might go into a circle or upside down for no reason whatsoever. Whatever you choose to do with a journal is as unique as you are. So it doesn't mean you're writing thoughts or words. It could be anything, right?
Right. It's another term for journaling is expressive writing. It is just getting out on the page. And I still don't, I couldn't tell you scientifically what's going on, but all I know is that it really works and gets you into places inside of yourself that you never had a clue existed. So it's just, so that you have that opportunity to really express. Yes, and you're talking about the doodling. As I say, Doug, there's only one right way to journal, and that's your way. So if you want to use crayons if you want to do it in the morning, if you want to do it in the evening, and all that. It's totally, completely up to you. You will get that. You will get the benefits that you need from the process, based on you being who you are and tuning into your heart and your feelings and your emotions and all those wonderful things that are stuffed way down inside our tissues that we're bringing to the forefront through journaling.
Do you write these things, whatever it is you write, and then obviously you write it, you put it down, you close the book, and you go and leave. Do you then at some point come back and read it? Is that the reason you do it, because you want to come back and read it and hopefully benefit from it, or not necessarily?
Yes.
What happens?
Again, it's a personal call. For me, I've been doing it for 20 years, and when I finish up a spiral 3 notebook or 3 division notebook, I give it to the trash man. Some people, I have a client that has been journaling for 20, 30 years. He just took all his journals to Kinko, and they put them into his computer, into a database. So, and a lady, one of my clients, who's been clean and sober for almost 10 years now, she said that's what helps get her through, any old desires to get returned to the bottle, but by going back and saying and taking a look at different entries and things like that, and finding out, oh, that's the situation I had before, and that's how I handled that. Oh, okay, and she finds some additional kernels of inspiration. So again, as I said, it's up to you. And some people, as I keep it for a whole room of all the years that they've been journaling, and then you have Mary McCarthy that puts it down, gets does what gets out what she needs to get out. It's like, okay, I've been there, done that, thank you, and hands it to the garbage man.
Well, I think it would be a benefit to go back and look at something you journaled, 15 years ago. Another question that comes to mind is, what's the difference between journaling and keeping a diary? Is there a difference?
Definitely. Journaling, you're getting into you're doing the heavy lifting, and you're getting into the secrets of your soul. A diary is basically just the facts, ma'am. It's just we went on one wonderful vacation, and it's just a record, really a record keeping type of a situation. Journaling gets into your thoughts, your feelings, your mind, your body, your soul. That's the big difference.
Well, I really do believe it would be beneficial then to go back and read what you wrote at some point. I'm amazed you give your journals, number one, to the trash man, because I would think you'd want to shred it rather than give it to him. But anyway, your story is so amazing, and as I mentioned at the opening, you said your transformation has nothing short of radical. Because of, and you blame this now, or credited it to therapeutic journaling, it helped the right side of your body now become 75% functional when, because of your MS, it wasn't. You don't take any drugs at all. You stopped all over-the-counter medication. You dumped your health insurance, my goodness. And you've been 100% healthy for 6 years with no sign of illness. And you credit that all to what you call therapeutic journaling. A lot of people may think to themselves, "Golly, how do you do that? How did that happen?" How do you explain that?
I explain it that from the fact that we all have the answers inside of us that we need to run a very successful, happy, productive, whatever you want to call, whatever your goal is for your purposes in life. And journaling is the way to help us dig deeper and deeper and deeper. Again, it's because journaling helps us change our behavior. It helps us change our thought process. That's what one of the most amazing things to me is, like, I continually come up with, like, oh my goodness, I've been carrying around that thought, or of that, just the effects of, what my thinking was about, how dumb and stupid I am, and my younger brother so much better at playing the piano than me. All those kinds of crazy things that are we carry, Doug, everything in our subconscious, from where from childhood. So it just gives us an opportunity to get into, oh my goodness, so how I feel, and how it's like, what, me have emotions and all those types of things. So I just, like I say, it's the best drug going. It's just like, and it's free. So it's just
no kidding, it is free. Well, let's talk a little bit about what your journey is now to help others benefit from journaling the way it has helped you. You wrote a book called Journaling Power. Let me ask you, number one, how long? I'm sure when you started journaling, you never thought you'd write a book about it, right? That has to be the case.
Had no clue. No.
Yeah, had no clue. All right. Did you find it difficult to write the book? How long did it take you to write it?
It's probably less than a year. I think again it was. That's another benefit of journaling. I get these what I call universal messages. That's how I came up with the idea for the name of my company. It just literally showed up in my journal one day, and I just got a sense of that it was time to write a book. And being the very practical businesswoman, I wanted to have a good practical thing as well as telling my story, so that it just that's another thing that I find too with journaling. If you do the daily routine of, as I call the data dumping, but also just the routine of, because it's really a daily present to yourself. You're showing yourself that you are number one. You are important, and that's completely different. So. So that's the. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good. All right. So you wrote the book called Journaling Power. Took you about a year, and the subtitle of the book is How to Create the Happy, Healthy Life You Want to Live. What will I get out of reading your book? Is it? Are you instructing me on how to journal? Is that really what it is? More than your story, it's how to journal.
I would say. Excuse me, I'd say it's 50-50. I call it a self-help memoir. It just, it relays my experiences of the the many fantastic benefits of, because it is really a holistic health therapy. So I use that opportunity to tell my story, but also give really good practical things about, okay, this is how you can, if you're dealing with the issues of the inner critic or whatever situation, or how the importance of setting goals and things like that. So you have all kinds of practical instruction, prompts, exercises, guidance on how to start a journaling practice, but then how to drill down to help you solve the issues in your tissues, be it money, be it your body, your weight, your health, or finding a job, whatever challenges you face in life.
Well, you wrote the book, and it has become an international award-winning bestseller. How do you feel about that? Were you surprised? You got to be shocked, right?
No, that was a goal of mine. The international was not in my goal, but my goal was to, when I wrote, I came up with the title, because I always come up with titles and headlines and at first. So when I came up with, this down to earth, practical, this is going to blow people out of the water with journaling, how to create the happy, healthy life you want to live. But that, again, that was another one. My goal was to have Journaling Power be an award-winning, best-selling book. I'm very motivated. I mean, goals have always worked for me. That's how I have my house on the beach, Doug. So it's like goals have always worked for me. It's like, like I said, my other goal was to have by Labor Day, have 100 Amazon reviews, and I got my 100th Amazon review on August 31st.
Wow. And how was it? Was it a good review?
Yes.
Tough question. Yeah, obviously it was, right?
Yes, because I think it's someone that I know that has been with me for a long time and knows the value of journaling and keeping that I've been a good resource and, if you will, kicking the butt or whatever to keep her on her journaling practice daily and pen to page.
I find that amazing. The book, again, is called Journaling Power. It's available on Amazon, and it is, as Mary said, it's a bestseller on Amazon, which is cool. Let's talk about how other people have benefited from journaling. And I asked you this before, and you said there are case studies. You have examples of people who've done this, and it's benefited them as much as it has, in the same way as it has benefited you, the journaling. So let's talk a little bit about that. Number one, the first question, though, is you talk about morning pages. Is the idea when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do is go to the paper and write some stuff down? Is that when
Yes.
the best time to do some journaling is?
Absolutely. When you just get out of bed, just get to the page, and you write 3 pages of stream of consciousness. Whatever's there, and it's unbelievable. It's like even if you don't feel like it and all that, just you use the writing process, and you just at the end of the 3 pages, it's like, oh wow, and so the morning is the best time. There's something about coming into consciousness, shall we say, that it's just and then just getting rid of all the the dreams, whatever, get it out on the page, and that so that you can able to more live your life.
So how does that make you feel after you've done that in the morning? You sit down, you write, you get up, and you walk away, and all of a sudden you're thinking about all these thoughts that were running through your head that you wrote down. I would imagine that comes back to you occasionally during the day, right? These thoughts that you've just expressed. It does impact you, doesn't it?
Oh yes, and I find that it's fantastic for problem solving. If it's something, as you know, if you don't have a good night's sleep, you're here and there and all over the place. But it's like doing the morning pages gives you a focus, and you just dump everything. Not putting any type of pressure on yourself or whatever. Just do it, and then you will find too that as you go through your day, and I find too that's like when you're thinking about things like, oh, there was something interesting came up, or you got rid of something, and it's like, yeah, you'll be in the shower, and it's like, oh, I could try this, or I could do that, or whatever. So that's the benefit of of the morning pages, of getting all the garbage that's that we continually carry around with us, and it will always be there. But it's like this gives you a way of processing it, dealing with it. And I think that's the whole thing, that we're just so ingrained with taking things and just stuffing it down, or our head that drives us crazy and keeps us up at night and all that type of thing. You find that it does really help you get ready for your day, and really just opens up new possibilities.
Well, that's great. All right, let's talk about some case studies. Give me some examples of how journaling has helped others that you're aware of.
I guess the one on the top of my list is a young lady who has struggled many years with alcoholism, and she got into the journaling. I guess she was in AA, but she just kept at it, and she is very happy to report. In fact, she's going to be one of the case studies in my new book that I'm working on about how it has just really saved her life. And she's one of the people that you had mentioned earlier, Doug. She loves to go back, and because when she gets tangled up or challenged or whatever, she has the confidence and the trust that she goes back to a journal of a prior journal, whatever, she'll get new insights and new, and also it's also a confidence boost to her that like, oh, I've been here before, and I thought it was the end of the world and all that kind of stuff, and this is how I dealt with that. It's like, oh, okay, so this is a similar situation, and I can apply these skills, or I can do this, or take this action. So it's just it's really a very, I mean, I'd say that she was the top of the list as far as how you can do something, that's of a medical, emotional, holistic issue challenge, and just like I think it shows to people that it can really help her live the life she wants to live, because it's a way of helping her manage her demons, her inner critics, all the things that hurt. Again, going back to my company's tagline, dealing with her issues and her tissues.
Yeah, it's helped her maintain her sobriety, right? Journaling has.
Yes, definitely. 10 years, exactly.
10 years. Good for her. Good for her. Obviously, there are many others. We have another minute or two we can share on this. Got another example of someone? And are these people? Have you heard from these people? Do you hear from people who've read your book and have taken up journaling?
Oh, definitely. And people love the fact that I communicate my story, but it's also there's something that seems to tap in on some level for someone, be it the inner critic, the whatever, the common thread I see says, oh, wow, you got me back to my writing. You got me back to the page. Or so it's just, or it's like, oh, my goodness, I had no clue that's what journaling was all about, and things like that. So it's just like, as I say, I think the idea that I've been through this and I've experienced it, and like I said, I will be doing my journaling till the time I go on to wherever I'm going to next in my next life or whatever. It's just like it's an addiction that I will keep for the rest of my life.
Well, that's an interesting way to put it, an addiction you keep for the rest of your life, journaling. How much during the day do you journal? How often during the day do you journal? Is it just in the morning, or do you do it throughout the day? Or do you do it at the end of the day, too?
I've gotten it changes. Right now, I'm into the thing of I do a page of morning pages. Before my meditation in the morning, I do a page, or however, like I said, whatever I feel like, of night notes before I go to bed. I find that has been a huge help to helping me in my sleeping through the night process. And as as the spirit moves me, like I'm working on recreating and redesigning my website. So I always have a pad of my notebook with me. So it's like, maybe I feel like doing this or whatever. So it's really, and then for a while I was doing ambidextrous morning pages every day. So it's just like, it's really however you feel.
You mentioned your website. I want to point out this website. We're just about out of time, Mary. I want to make sure to get your website out there. The website is called CreateRightNow.com. CreateRightNow.com. Go to that website. You'll learn all about Mary, about her story, about how to get her book, which is such a fantastic bestseller book. The book, again, called Journaling Power, How to Create the Happy, Healthy Life That You Want to Live. Mary, I wish we had more time. Thank you so much for being with us. Mary McCarthy, talking to us from her home in Marshfield, Massachusetts, on the beach. Mary, thank you, and I hope other people will take up journaling as you have. It's been a big benefit from your life. Obviously, it can help a lot of other people as well. So thank you so very much. We appreciate you.
You've been listening to CUTV News Radio. If you want to learn more about our programming or perhaps be considered for a future show, visit us on the web at www.cutvnews.com. And if you enjoyed listening to today's show, subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Stitcher, and be sure to write a review. Thanks for listening, and from all of us at CUTV News Radio, we hope you have a productive and inspired day.
Well, that's it for now, everybody. I'm Doug Llewellyn. We thank you for being with us. See you next time right here on CUTV News Radio. Bye for now.